Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys on my channel guys. And yes guys, we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game and the second game of the season, when Manchester United went and travelled to Tottenham, where we went and lost 2-0. Get strapped in boys. I'm going to be going off in this video. I am not happy after the weekend's game against Tottenham, where it was obviously at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We always beat Tottenham. The way how we lost that game to Tottenham was just embarrassing, to be honest, because you don't go into a game like Tottenham and lose. And you can't do that because we never lose to Tottenham. It was their first time in 3 years that they've beaten us. Shockingly, so bad on Man United's behalf. Anyway, guys, it was an unchanged team from last game against Wolves. Talking about starting 11, so we started with Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Mount, Antony, Fernandes, Garnacho and Rashford. Overall reaction: lacklustre, Red Devils, and change it, Ten Hag, and it needs to be changed. Sort yourselves out. We're too easy to play against. What a shit show. We got outplayed. We made too many mistakes. Embarrassing. Not good enough. The midfield is non-existent. The midfield was a joke. It's disappointing, annoying, frustrating. No backbone. We deserve to lose. We look clueless. Lively start for Tottenham. It was competitive. Promising from United. Mistake by Porro Antony had an early chance. Some good passages are played by United. United picked up the momentum. Tottenham's defence was shaky. Tottenham coming back into the game. United defending well. United stayed organised. United setting up for the counter. United getting the ball into the channel for Rashford. It was an open game end to end, giving the ball away too easily. United having the chances, just not taking them. Tottenham split open United's midfield, which left our defence exposed. Onana making big saves to keep us in the game. Quite an even game. Brilliant ball by Shaw. Bruno had a lot of time and space and should have scored. United sloppy in the final pass. Tottenham on the front foot, hit the crossbar and post. United on the edge. Both teams have had big chances. Okay first half, giving away loose balls and sloppy passing by United. Too slow from United, we were too passive. Tottenham score for 1-0. Antony hits the post. United need to settle down and stay calm. Tottenham controlling the game. United's front six have gone missing. Tottenham playing with energy. Tottenham coming back inside. Tottenham causing a lot of problems for United. United being left exposed. Ten Hag makes substitutions, changing shape. Tottenham dominating the game. Tottenham absolutely destroyed United's midfield. United haven't been comfortable. United have been frustrated. The substitutions haven't made an impact. Tottenham score for 2-0. United just not concentrated and not being focused. United hitting the long ball and it was too easy for Tottenham to read. We lacked ideas going forward. We didn't have any answers. We looked clueless at times. First half was okay. Second half was shocking. Overall embarrassing performance. Anyway guys, let's get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? I thought it was a shocking, awful, dreadful and embarrassing performance by Manchester United. Overall in the end, you know what, I'm pissed off with this because we came into this game against Tottenham with sort of some confidence. We got away with a result against Wolves, and Ten Hag put out a team where he obviously had belief in of putting out the same team, and obviously said to those players, you're a lot better than that against Wolves, just go and perform a lot better. And obviously the one thing what I would have done in this game is definitely would have changed it. It had to. I said this, and I said this in my last video. Why is Rashford playing down the middle? You know, he's not a striker. Garnacho can't start as well. He's better off coming off from the bench. We've got Mason Mount coming on as well, starting as well, and he's trying to get him more involved as a number 10 as well, in behind as well. So it's just clearly not working. So when you know it's not working in the first game of the season, you've got to change it. So now I'm saying, change it, Ten Hag, because you need to now. Because we're sick and tired of seeing this time and time again. Rashford is not a striker. Get him out wide. That's why those balls were going out wide to Rashford. It was left isolated. It was like, it was left isolated and there was no one with him, you know, and it's just not good enough. But the performance overall was just dreadful from United. Couldn't get going in the second half. Second half was non-existent, to be honest. We clearly could not get going. But yeah, awful. We couldn't get going in that second half. And I tell you what, first half, I thought we did okay, to be honest with you. I thought we had some big chances and we didn't take them. And you know what? It's just embarrassing because we never lose to Tottenham. We never lose to Tottenham. We've not lost to Tottenham in 3 years. And that time was when we lost 6-1 at home. You know, We never go to Tottenham away from home and lose. We never do that. But the thing is, we're Tottenham's bogey team. We never lose to Tottenham. Yes, Ange Postecoglou is more attacking-minded coach, but you got to find a way to win, and we didn't find a way to win. You know, all right, yes, we could have come away with a draw, but at the end of the day, you can't really back a draw. You know, at the end of the day, it would have been great to get a draw, but we didn't. Results are different, and yeah, we have to live with it. It was an embarrassing defeat, and we were shocking. You know, it's not good enough on United's behalf. We've got to be a lot more better now in the next game. But we have to, we need to sort ourselves out, because, you know, we're just not there at the standards where we're supposed to be at the minute. And we look miles behind, behind every other team as well at the minute. So I don't know how we're going to do it, because we need to we need to massively improve. But getting into those goals that we conceded as well were absolutely dreadful. The first goal, sure, goes more central. Garnacho is just too slow getting back. But I think this is just pure laziness from this team as well. This pissed me off, the way how he gave this goal away, because, you know, United outnumbered Tottenham. No one didn't show that desire and that defensive intent, and to, you know, close them down and to get rid of that ball. One thing that pissed me off was that first goal, and it's like, oh, I'm not doing it. Oh, and because we're all teammates, I'll just let Luke Shaw do it. And then Luke Shaw's like, oh no, I'm just going to leave it down to Martinez. And then Martinez is like, oh, I'll just leave that to Casemiro's like, oh, I'll just pass that on to Mount. You know, make your decisions up. Don't throw your arms and all this lot that we've conceded a goal. Get rid of it. Get rid of the ball. What you doing? You know, you've outnumbered them. Get rid of that ball. You know, and it's clearly avoidable. Wan-Bissaka, Mount and Casemiro, and the three players that were close to Sarr, and not one of them just says, just clear it. You know, it's just not good enough. And then the second goal is just as bad, because Davies hits it. It's obviously clearly going wide, and Martinez just tries to clear it, and it just goes down as an own goal. So that's just as bad, the second goal. But yeah, but at the end of the day, not good enough. And obviously, getting into the game now, I thought the first half had kicked off. You know, I thought we did okay in this first half as well, to be honest. I thought we kicked off. Obviously, Tottenham had a lively start, played with energy, played with tempo, intensity. Obviously, you know, they got the front foot, tried to make things happen, Tottenham. Obviously, you know, I thought United, you know, sort of defensively did all right in the first half as well. We kept our shape well as well. I thought, you know, United made it was some moves from United and some good passages of play from United were promising. But you know, I thought, you know, United sort of had a little bit of momentum. You could see that Tottenham's defence was a little bit shaky at the back. And Tottenham was sort of like, you know, coming back into the game. You know, they had that confidence and that belief in them. But United did all right defensively. You know, you could see that we were setting up for the counter. You know, we were getting the balls into Rashford into the channels to Rashford, but obviously the balls were going out wide for him, because that's where he likes to play. I thought it was an open game. It was end to end. It was competitive. I thought we were giving the ball away too easily as well. And then we had some really good chances. I thought Rashford had a great chance. Bruno had a great chance. These are chances that we had in the first half, and we didn't take them, and we were not clinical. And this is what happens. And you've got to. That was like a game where you set up to win that like 5-0 in the first half, and when you don't take your chances, it just pays a price, and you know, it dents your confidence, and you're not gonna walk away. But you've got to score a goal at the end of the day, and we didn't. So, but then obviously giving the ball away too easily, and you know, Tottenham obviously clearly looked back at that Wolves game and saw what Wolves had done, where, you know, Mount is just drawn to the same position where Bruno's in. There's just no communication, and then that midfield's just wide open, acres of space, and obviously there's where they can just split us open. Defence has been left exposed, and you know, they came at us really sort of towards the end of the half. They got on the front foot, hit the crossbar on the post. United were really on the edge. But then when United sort of had these great chances as well, we just lacked that final pass, but it was sloppy as well. We didn't have end product as well, and both teams had big chances as well. But then I think in the second half, we were too slow, too passive. Tottenham bring the energy and the intensity. Tottenham score for 1-0. Dreadful to let that to concede that, and then Antony hits the post. Clearly unlucky, but we just couldn't get into the second half. To be honest, we needed to settle down and stay calm. But Spurs dominated the game. They controlled it. United's front six had clearly just gone missing. Tottenham playing with energy and just grew in confidence, and they were coming more inside, causing United a lot of problems. United were being left exposed. Ten Hag tries to make substitutions, changing shape, and then Bruno goes out wide. Why are you playing Bruno out wide when it clearly doesn't not work? Get him into his natural position. Bruno out wide is never going to work at the end of the day. And then they dominated the game. They destroyed our midfield. United just were not comfortable. We couldn't really get our flow going, and we've been frustrated. Substitutions didn't make an impact, and then to top things off, they killed us off with the second goal, and there was no way back. So, and then after that, we were just not concentrating and focusing. After that when the second goal went in, we were just not concentrating and focusing. And then we were playing the long ball after that, and because we kept playing this long ball, we were just too easy to read. And then we were just lacking ideas going forward. We looked clueless at times, and we didn't know what we were doing at the end of the day. But yeah, dreadful. Overall, it's our first loss of the season. It's a 2-0 defeat on the road. It's disappointing. We still yet haven't beaten a top six side away from home. It's obviously a concern. Is the mentality the key issue to that? Definitely is. I was definitely thinking coming into this game, would have thought that the mentality would have been the change to come away and get the result against Tottenham, but clearly we've got the same issue coming away from home. The mentality is just clearly not right. Mindset's clearly not right coming away from home. You've got to have a winning mentality when you go to grounds like the Tottenham one as well. We're going to be going to away grounds this season where we're going to find it tough, and you have to find ways in as well. Mentality is clearly an issue in this game as well. It's more embarrassing when you can't beat a top six team though as well. Yes, we have beaten top six sides at home last season, but it's when we come away from home, we just don't have that winning mentality to go and win the game away from home. I don't know what it's about us, whether if it's just because we're not showing that conviction, we're not showing that courage. We don't want it more. I think a lot of the players think they're going to get away with it. They got away with it last week against Wolves. They didn't get away with it this week. The mentality is a key issue. We're not coming away beating these top six sides. I think we make it too easy for teams as well. I think teams this season are going to be rubbing their hands thinking United side are not ready yet, and we're an easy side to go up against, so they're going to use us to get their confidence if they're rock bottom. So we have to lift up these performances at the end of the day. What went wrong? I think 7 things for me. Midfield's non-existent yet again, going back to what I was saying. You've got the back four, 3 in the midfield, but then the same thing as last week. Bruno's out wide, and you've got Casemiro there, and then you've got Mount there, but then when we're trying to change it, Bruno wants to come into his natural position, but then Mount's coming forward. It's like we're doubling up, but then Casemiro's just left isolated on his own. That's why he needs someone to come back deeper to help him out. And obviously there's just clearly no communication in that midfield, and that's why we're getting split open in the midfield as well, because Mount wants to go forward, but he's not dropping back deeper to help Casemiro out. And then we're making it too easy to play against as well. Too easy to play against, and this is why teams are just going to look forward to playing Manchester United and go, right, it's our cup final, we're going to give it our all. Again, Tottenham did the same thing. We made it too easy to play against, dominated us as well. Midfield non-existent, and there's no communication in the midfield, because Mount is more drawn to get more involved going forward, and obviously Mount's favoured positions are obviously here where Bruno Fernandes is playing. He can't find the right balance, and this is why he should have changed it in this game to have Eriksen more deeper to start that game and get next to Casemiro to allow to come back deeper to help Casemiro. And then obviously because Mount's a complete different player, he wants to get forward, but he doesn't really like dropping back deep. You can see that the midfield's not right. We don't have the right balance. So I think he's got to be ruthless, and he's got to change it, and he needs to be ruthless and to bench Mount, because if he wants to get a result out of Forest, he needs to go back to Eriksen. There's just no defensive intent as well from United. 2 goals that we concede as well. We're lacking discipline, we're lacking composure, physicality. as well. It's completely off it in terms of our fitness at the minute as well. Then in the second half, to top things off, we made too many mistakes and made too many errors as well. We've got to sort it out. And the midfield's the main issue that he needs to overcome. We've now played 2 games. We've found a way to win against Wolves, but they've been poor performances, but they need to improve thick and fast. Definitely. We've got Forest on the weekend. We've got to change it up now. I think in terms of personnel, he's got to make some changes. I think too many players are going through the motions. He's got to be ruthless. He's got to change it. The midfield's the main one. You've got to play Ericsson over Mount. It just looks so off it in terms of fitness as well at the minute. They need to sort that out as well. We need to improve these performances thick and fast. 2 poor performances. We've got away with it against Wolves, and we've got dominated against Tottenham. We got embarrassed as well. Good enough the first 2 performances. Should United have been awarded a penalty? Definitely. The ball changes direction. I think it's clear and obvious that's a penalty. Yet again, we've not been awarded another penalty. Countless times, VAR just not giving United a penalty. That's clear penalty, and I don't know why VAR's not giving that. It checked it, but I don't know how that's not a penalty at the end of the day. I don't know what's in the rule books now, but it's a clear penalty. I don't know how it's not a penalty at the end of the day. It's understandable Ten Hag to get a lot of blame for the result, but the fans were turning against him to get him out. But at the same time, the players have got to take responsibility. Definitely. I've had a couple of run-ins with some fans saying, "Are you fucking real? You're a knob," and all this lot on Twitter. At the end of the day, I think you need to get your head out your arse. Never mind about Ten Hag, that he's not animated out of the club and all this lot, and he's going to be gone by Christmas. I mean, for fuck's sake. Come on. Ten Hag had to come in last season and he changed the culture in the team. He wanted to win a trophy. And look, we got 3rd last season. We got Champions League. Won a trophy at the end of the day. For fans to come out and say to get him out after the second game against Tottenham. Yes, it's disappointing to lose the game, but back the guy. And to be honest, people can blame him all you like. We're not ready yet again. The board are panicking now. They're going to be panicking. They're going to be bringing in signings now, thick and fast, because they've gone shit. The first 2 performances have been absolutely dreadful. We're panicking now, and we need signings in ASAP. They'll be shitting themselves now, the board. You can blame Ten Hag all you like, but that is definitely on the players as well. I think the players have got to take a lot of accountability for that game as well. Ten Hag will as well, but I think at the end of the day, players have got a lot of responsibility as well. Who's my man of the match? Can't find one, to be honest. I thought Onana played well. I thought Wan-Bissaka was okay. The first 2 had an okay game, to be honest. I thought Varane was good. I thought Martinez, can't really back him after the own goal. Luke Shaw had some good spells. Casemiro could have been better. Mount could have been better. Bruno should have scored a goal. Antony could have done more. Garnacho could have done more, and Rashford just non-existent, to be honest. I'm going to give it Onana yet again, standout player. How do we beat Nottingham Forest? Now, obviously, coming to our next game against Nottingham Forest, you know, the only way we're going to win this game is because we're at home. I think, you know, Ten Hag's clearly making Old Trafford more of a fortress. I think coming into this Forest game, I think it's a must-win. We've got to get the 3 points without a doubt here. I think Forest are struggling away from home. You know, it's still carrying on. You know, they went away in the first game of the season, lost it as well. So they've lost about half of the games. They've lost about 19 games in 39 games that they've sort of played in the Premier League, back in the top flight. So it's clearly half of the games that they've lost. So obviously there's a problem for them when they go away from home as well. They struggle away from home. So I think for United is, you know, we've got to come into this game. Yes, there'll be no confidence, but I think we're going to have to show that belief about us. We need to find a way to win. We've got to win this game. It's a must win. We can't afford to drop points. You know, Forest, I think, you know, they don't look too bad themselves. You know, they played some good football under Steve Cooper as well, but, you know, they're going to be well drilled. They're going to be well organised. And obviously they're going to be tight and compact. They're going to play with a low block. They'll look to counter-attack us. So, and when they get their moments, they're gonna look to take them, and it'll be a physical game. When they make the right decisions they'll make the right decisions going forward. They'll be brave. They'll take risk, and they'll play with a lot of width as well. But they'll give it everything that they've got. This will be their FA Cup final. They're coming to Old Trafford. They're going to express themselves, and I think the way how they're going to play in this game, I think they could be there for the taking. So, and it'll be their FA Cup final. So Forest are going to come to Old Trafford to cause the upset, definitely, for sure. But the only thing that's going to get United over the line here is obviously the fans. And I think, you know, there's got to be massive improvement coming into this game as well for United. We need to raise the intensity and the tempo levels as well. We're going to have to be at our high standards, and we have to play at our A game as well. So, you know, Forest, they don't look too bad themselves in the opening 2 games. Obviously, lessons were learned in the first game at Arsenal. but then they went and beat Sheffield United, so at home, which got their season up and running. So confidence is on their side. So United need to be aware of that. So I think United should have the quality to do it against Forest. It should not be a problem for United, but maybe we might have one of those sort of games where we go out and we just absolutely batter a team, and maybe it could be in this game against Forest. So I think a lot of improvements got to be made, and hopefully we can see it against Forest, and big changes have got to be made. Ten Hag needs to change it as well, and yeah, I mean, we need 3 points here, and we need to definitely be on our A game, and we've got to be on our A game. But I think in a game like this, though, we've got to defend properly. Defensively, we need to be organised. We need to be tight and compact. Defensively, frustrate them. We need to be ruthless, relentless. We've got to be aggressive, high intensity, high tempo, player of energy. We've got to create the chances. We've got to take our chances. We've got to be clinical. Got to get the crosses into the box, drag them out of position, be brave, take risks. Set pieces could come into play, maybe. We need to play. We need to get in between the lines, play with width as well. Got to close them down, don't let them get back in the game. Don't leave any spaces open. We've got to show. They'll show incredible team spirit, character and fight. But we've got to do the basics right. Game management and decision making will be key in a game like this. We've got to get tight. Don't let them get a shot off. Sustain your attacks. Do the basics. Win your 50-50s, win your second balls, win your duels, win your 1v1s, put them on the back foot, keep possession. Fullbacks have got to be effective, force them to make mistakes, put them under pressure, don't let the wingers cut back inside, don't afford to make mistakes, make the runs in from behind, don't get pulled out position, be explosive, and keep Awoni and Dennis quiet. Getting to the stats now, possession for Tottenham, it was 55.7%, and for Man United, it was 44.3%. Goals for Tottenham, it was 2, and for Man United, it was 0. Total shots for Tottenham, it was 17, and for Man United, it was 22. Shots on target for Tottenham, it was 6, and for Man United, it was 6. Shot accuracy for Tottenham, it was 35.3%, and for Man United, it was 27.3%. Inside the box for Tottenham, it was 14, and for Man United, it was 15. Shots outside the box for Tottenham, it was 4, and for Man United, it was 6. Total passes for Tottenham, it was 502 passes. Man United, it was 401 passes. Pass accuracy for Tottenham, it was 85.3%, and for Man United, it was 82.8%. Getting into the substitutions now, Antony went off for Eriksen. Talk about Antony's performance. Too casual on the ball again. He had plenty of it. Struck the post shortly after Spurs went 1-0 up, and that is endemic of €100 million work in progress. Garnacho went off for Sancho. Talk about Alejandro's performance. Better than Wolves, and he should have had a penalty when the shot hit Christian Romero's hand. Faded once Spurs seized momentum. Wan-Bissaka went off for Dalot. Talk about Aaron's performance. Steady enough in defence against a testing opponent in Heung-min Son. Fine interception towards Son from James Maddison's pass. Mount went off for Palestri. Talking about Mount's performance. Enjoyed his best half since he signed. Pressed effectively, neat on the ball. Mount looked more settled, but he was quieter after the half time. Rashford went off for Martial. Talking about Marcus's performance. Started sloppily but improved and was denied in a one-on-one with Vicaro. Another ineffectual performance up top. Next up, we've got Forest. Forest are 10th in the league. Like I just said then, coming into this game against Forest, it's going to be a big game for Manchester United. Can't afford to lose a game like this. We need to make Old Trafford a fortress. Forest are coming away from home. They struggle away from home. Going to have to come into this game. Confidence is going to be on Forest's side, so we've got to take that away. We need to obviously bring our belief. We need to be on our A game. We've got to prepare well for a game like this. We've got to go with the right mentality, the right mindset against Forest as well. But Forest, this United team, off it at the minute. We're going to exploit their weaknesses at the moment, and we're going to try and expose it. They know how to do that, and which is our midfield. I think Forest, the way how they're going to set up in this game, I think they're going to play with a low block, try and get us on the counter. You can see how good they are on the counter as well. Ilanga from a couple of weeks ago against Arsenal, opening game week. I think that's going to be so effective for them when they're on the counter as well. We've got to be aware of that. I think we've defensively got to be organised, keep it tight and compact. We've got to frustrate them defensively. They're going to want to play. It'll be their FA Cup final. They'll give it everything that they got. Going to throw everything at it. Not come to Old Trafford put in effort, they will come to Old Trafford, give it everything anyway. They struggle away from home, this team, and we've got to somehow find a way to win. We need to play Højlund, we've got to get Rashford out on the wing, get Garnacho on the bench, Mount on the bench. He's got to be ruthless, Ten Hag, now. He's got to change it. He's got to change it now. We can't see the same team from the last 2 weekends now. He's got to change it now. Come on, this is Nottingham Forest. We've got to beat teams like Forest. It's a must-win. We've got to get the 3 points here against Nottingham Forest. Will they be there for the taking? We'll see on the day, I think, the way how they play Forest, but I think they could be if they set up to play with a low block and try and frustrate United all afternoon. We've got to be ready for a game like this against Nottingham Forest. They're going to want to play themselves. They want to win it as well themselves. We've got to win over that midfield. We've got to get Eriksen into that midfield, and we've got to get the right balance in the midfield. But then it's all about, we've got to bring the energy. We've got to have to bring high intensity, high tempo. We've got to be ruthless. We've got to be aggressive on the front foot. We've got to be proactive. We've got to sustain our attacks. It'd be nice to get an early goal against Forest, because when you get an early goal against Forest, it doesn't shock them, but it just goes to show you can get that first goal, control, dominate the game. You want to be more conservative, just build on it, and you want to be dominant in display. And I think Ten Hag's going to want the players up to scratch. He'll want them to play how he actually wants to play, front foot, proactive, play with initiative, set our standards, but sustain our principles as well. Ten Hag likes possession, wants to be on the front foot, likes to be dominant, and I think he was going to want that from this team against Nottingham Forest. Got to be at it from minute 1 to minute 90 against Nottingham Forest. They're a good team. They've had an okay start to their season, and they're going to want to try build on that momentum and that confidence. We've got to take that away from them, and we've got to do a job on Saturday against Nottingham Forest, and we've got to be ready. We've got to prepare well for a game like this. Right mentality and the right mindset. We've got to win. We've got to get the 3 points. No matter how we win this game, we've got to find a way to win. Then you're calling out for consistency then, which we need in the team as well. Nottingham Forest are scoring 1.5 goals per game. Nottingham Forest are conceding 1.5 goals per game. Nottingham Forest are still struggling away from home. They have lost 19 games in 39 in the top flight division. The players to look out for is Turner, Worrell, Williams, Toffolo, Ninkete, Aurier, McKenna, Bolly, Aina, Mangala, Shelvey, Kouate, Gibbs-White, O'Brien, Yates, Failer, Woney, Wood, Johnson, Ilanga, Dennis, and Unjo. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.